have this picture in my head of like in my office having a whole wall, and this sounds cheesy, but a whole wall of like smiling business owners' faces on this wall. And the theme or the title that I've given it is help 200 business owners reach 20% plus profitability in their business.
Mm.
And that's on top of paying themselves as an owner operator. That's like true margin in their business.
Mm.
And so it's like the 200 help 200 reach 20. It's help 200 reach 20. And then I envision this wall to be like, man, how awesome would it be? You sit back and you look at this wall and you get to put another face on that wall when you help them reach that goal, right? And so that's kind of the big focus of where we're at. So right now we're serving about 60 entities, but a lot of these business owners own multiple of those entities.
Okay. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Big Hitters Podcast. I'm joined by Austin McMillan, who is a friend of mine through Dan Martell's elite coaching community. And Austin is probably one of the most personable people I've ever met that owns a bookkeeping company. He's very, he's full of energy and ideas, and I'm excited to dive into it with him today. Austin, tell us how you got to where we are today. Tell us a little bit of your story.
I love it, Andrew. Thanks so much for having me, man. I'm fired up to be here. So I basically tell people that I have to dive into the deep end for me to understand if I like it or don't like it, really with anything in life. And so I've done that a lot of different ways over the past 10 to 15 years, but really born and raised in Alabama, still in Alabama here in Birmingham. And the first 8 years of my kind of career journey, I was on the acquisition side of a landscape company that was owned by an investment group. So I got to kind of dive in from purchasing and looking at businesses to kind of see as they grew on the traditional kind of 5-year flip of some of these investment firms. So that's really kind of where I learned a small bit of accounting. I don't have accounting by education. I have accounting by trial by fire. And that's where I learned a little bit of that accounting world. And then, from there, went on a journey of trading options in the stock market for a few years. I left there and I told my wife, I was like, I'm not afraid of work. Give me 2 years or really a year. If I lose everything, then I'll go work at a coffee shop or something and we'll figure this out. But did that for a while. And then from there is kind of where I got into this flywheel mode, where I actually worked for the guy who started what became Flywheel Financial for a few years and learned the servicing fractional CFO outsourced bookkeeping world to small business owners. Offered to buy the business, bought it in May of 2023. And then since then, we've just been growing into the small business market, and I love every day of it. So that's kind of the condensed version of the past 10 years, basically.
So when I first looked at your website, I scrolled down and I asked you about, because there's something on your website that talks about Scent Hound. And so I had to ask you what Scent Hound was, but apparently it is a network. It's like a franchise model of groomers that you really have an in with. So now I'm wondering in my mind, like, how freaking big can this grooming network be? That it's featured on your site, man. Tell us about that and how you got in with them.
Yeah, that's fun, Andrew. This was, everything happens awesome in your life through relationships, and this was one of those same stories. But it's a franchise model based out of Orlando, Florida. They're called Scent Hound. And basically, they're popping up stores all over the country that is a subscription-based dog grooming franchise. And so a real good friend of mine got in early on that and was opening stores here in the Alabama and Tennessee area. And he kind of approached me one day. We used to run together and we're good friends. And he was like, man, if you ever could figure out a model that fits for our space to take all of the accounting, bookkeeping, bill pay, all the headache that I have to deal with that I don't want to deal with off my plate, I'll hire you tomorrow. And we were already doing accounting for mom and pop small businesses. And so I was like, man, I've never approached the franchise model, but we'll give it a whirl. We'll see what happens, So we dove in and started doing his few stores that he had at the time, really kind of built a system behind that. And now we've just continued to grow into that space. And we have, basically through networks and people opening up new stores through that franchise model, we're a preferred vendor of that franchise. And we basically take all of the accounting headache off of those guys' plates so they can focus on growth, opening new stores, site locations, hiring the team, all the things that they need to do as an owner, not being bogged down in QuickBooks and all the things to get accurate financials. So it's been a really, really fun space, and we're still sprinting in that direction while we're also sprinting in the direction of mom and pop small businesses as well.
Okay, so I've had a few businesses, and I don't like bookkeeping.
Yeah.
So walk me through like your process in working with your clients and some of the things that you do for them to make this whole bookkeeping thing an afterthought.
Yeah, well, what we tell them is we're essentially like an accounting department for your business. So admin, accounting, the crap that you hate doing, give it to us. Let us do that from a remote site. And you go focus on the things that are unique to you and your business and the team members that are boots on the ground at your business to go do, right? So it's literally everything from coding transactions, bank reconciliations, everything that a typical bookkeeper would do, to paying your bills every Friday, to running payroll, to producing owner metrics that are like unique to what's your return on invested cash on this investment in a business. That goes above and beyond your typical balance sheet and P&L, right? And so we're trying to basically fill the void of saying, let us wear the financial hat of your business, become that trusted partner with you. So we can kind of partner with you, coach you up on how to become more profitable. What do you need to focus on when you're looking at a 300 line item P&L? Here are like the two things to narrow in on based on what's your business and that's unique to your business to really grow that bottom line. And so that's really where we're kind of moving into to say, like, how do we strategize with these guys to help them become more profitable?
So what are some sticking points that you're experiencing now in your business, like where it's at? Like what are some things that problems you're trying to solve, walls you're trying to break through? Like walk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, man. So the thing, obviously going back to Dan Martell, I just so resonated with buyback through time. And so I'm just climbing the replacement ladder right now, Andrew. So I literally hired my assistant, about a year and a half ago, right after reading that book, and then immediately started focusing on the delivery part of the replacement ladder. And so we just brought on a CPA in May of this year to kind of help me take over the operations side of our business. And then I'm just climbing the next rung, which is marketing. And so I'm just focusing on marketing right now. So I started an Instagram profile and brand new to social media, and I'm basically building the system behind marketing. And then I'll just move to the next one after that to sales once we hire for the marketing position. So really, for us, the part that I'm focused on right now is obviously providing fantastic service to our clients. But then I'm figuring out, like, how do we let the world know who Flywheel is? Because I think there's a much needed solution that we can provide in the small to medium sized business market to really take that off so they can focus on growth and building the team, the things that they got into business originally to go do. So that's my focus as marketing.
I love that. Let's talk about AI for a second. You and I kind of nerded out on AI a little bit, but I 100% think that there's so many automations that would apply to bookkeeping. Like, talk to me or talk to our audience a little bit about how you think AI is going to change bookkeeping.
Completely. Well, I'm like all in on it, man. And once again, I'm trying to stay ahead of the curve and diving deep. So in fact, we have a team meeting every month that we have given everybody on our team access to ChatGPT Operator and a couple other functionalities to say, like, anything that you're doing from a repetitive, recurring task, figure out how to build this prompt or this machine to go do that for you, because it's going to open your capacity up to handle more clients, which they're all based on revenue incentives to basically make more money by using and leveraging technology. So right now we've been kind of deep in the weeds of ChatGPT operators for probably about 4, maybe 5 months now. But going back to the bigger picture of it, as well as I'm honestly fired up to learn from you, Andrew, but bookkeeping is ripe for the picking for AI, right? It's one of the industries that's probably at the top of the list when you think about what AI could potentially do. And I'm here for it, man. I'm like all in because I know the value that we provide for clients to really help them become more profitable, hold them accountable to measure certain things in their business, to actually take steps to like improve their business, help them potentially on tax strategy and all these things that we're implementing. And so for us, I told our team a few months ago, I was like, I'm not going to hire another bookkeeper on the team. We're just not. We're going to figure out a way that a machine can do that work so that we can do higher level tasks. And that's what we're focused on. Operator, to tell you the truth, and I'm happy to go into a conversation here if you wanted to.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I want to, because you said that you were having a hard time getting it to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah, it's been, once again, it's a learning curve for us, right? I've been using ChatGPT for a minute now, but the operator section, we're really trying to get it to do, the best way I can describe it, and you probably describe it better than me, is it's a macro for a Chrome browser, right? It's like you just prompt it to go click and do these buttons based on any web browser that it can go to go do stuff. And so the things that I've seen that it's lacked is just the consistency in a repetitive thing, right? So I'll give you a perfect example is we have to create tons of journal entries for particular clients that are pulling databases from a set of like variable data that we then have to import and like fix inside of QuickBooks to show this is what it actually, how it plays out on P&L on the balance sheet. We've built a prompt behind that, and it's the exact same prompt that we do every single month. But sometimes it spits out the right answers and sometimes it doesn't. And it's just, some of that stuff's been frustrating because you're like, man, we haven't changed the prompt and we haven't changed the data set.
Yeah.
But it's not consistently giving us the stuff. So here's the biggest pro in my mind for operator, at least the ChatGPT world. I know 5.0 just released a few days ago. And so we haven't tested that out. But the thing that I love about it is the research fact of it. Like we use it as a business coach. I've built brains in it. So it's like, help me think about how to offer this differently to the market. Like I use it for like marketing, like anything on that side, I leverage it every single day. But when it comes to true operations of doing repetitive tasks over and over again, we haven't quite gotten over the hump in that one operator world to get it to do things consistently.
Talk to me about some of the non-grooming clients that you have. What are some other industries that you serve and have clients in?
Yeah, man. So when we bought the business, we were only in the property management space. So we were doing bookkeeping for mom and pop property management companies that go do property management for single family and commercial family, or single family, multifamily, and commercial, owners. So that was the space we're in. And since then, we still have a decent amount of property management companies. But we've grown into landscaping, we've grown into pool services. This service-based industries is kind of what our focus is. So marketing agencies, we have HVAC companies, construction companies, kind of diving into really the service world is where we've kind of gone into.
Those are my homies. I love any sort of blue collar businesses, man. Good old fashioned, hardworking blue collar guys. I love talking to those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And the fun part about that too, Andrew, is that like for us, we know what their best value add is as a landscaper. It's not sitting behind QuickBooks trying to go get, all that stuff figured out, right? And they don't need to be doing that if they want to grow, right?
Yeah.
And so we're trying to play the game of the who, not how game, and we want to be the who for the finance part of their business and let them go do the house and build a team for everything else.
Yeah. Okay, what's something we haven't talked about today that fires you up?
Man, right now, I'm just so deep in, AI is one of them. And so I'm still trying to learn, for me, I'm happy to go into discussions on if you want to talk about that. Right now, where I'm looking to pivot, two focuses of mine, AI and then marketing. So AI in that world, I'm looking to possibly pivot away from operators to then go find a better strategic play for repetitive accounting type tasks that a machine could go do, like N8N or some of these other platforms, right?
Yeah.
So that's not going to be my next focus to go do that. But then that's kind of really where we're pivoting from there. And then from a marketing standpoint, man, it's all new to me, dude. I'm like I said, brand new to social media. So I'm trying to learn that game, staying consistent on there, really trying to just add value to business owners through the lens of my Instagram account. And really just trying to let people know who Flywheel is so we can serve more people. Because honestly, Andrew, at the end of the day, the thing that I'm most passionate about is that, for people that are Christians out there, business is ministry, in my opinion. And it's the greatest thing on the planet because you get to interact with people that may or may not ever go in the walls of a church. And you get to serve them based on you pursuing excellence and having standards in your business to try, hopefully reflect who Jesus is by in the marketplace doing accounting. It's like, how do you even do that through accounting? But the way I like it's what the pull power that pulls me out of bed every day is that I know if we can serve more business owners and have a touch on them to help them build more margin in their life, like financial margin in their life, that means they can do more creative things for the people that they're serving through their business. They can pay their people better because they're creating more margin in their business. And when they pay their team better, all those people are coming from wherever they live to come work for that business or their organization. And then they go home to their families because they're happier because they're not as financially stressed anymore. And then when families are healthy, it changes communities of where they're in. So it's like all through the lens of accounting, we can have this impact. If we impact a leader of business, they have a certain people of stewardship that they're over. And if we can impact them, then they can hopefully impact the people that they steward, and then those people go home to their families, and then communities are changed, all because we help people become more profitable in their business. And I know that's kind of a crazy spiderweb thing, but
No, man, I love the passion. The passion comes out. I love that. I mean, you got me thinking like, man, I feel like I need to move my bookkeeping, you know, like that. It doesn't, it gets you fired up, and that's great, because I think one of the things that resonates with me is we try to create freedom for business owners, right?
Yeah.
And so I know with my college funding business, I was stuck inside of a business that ultimately made me miserable. It was very profitable, but I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, at the end of the day, like sometimes we forget, like it's kind of in your marriage, like, why did I marry this person? You know, like you got to remember back to like, I started this thing to find freedom, but now it's like, it's, you know, it becomes overwhelming at a certain point. So I love that vision. Totally.
No, you're exactly right, Andrew. And you have to remind yourself that often, because it's so easy to get stuck in the one problem that you're trying to solve in this quarter or this week or whatever. And you can lose that. Why? Because think about it. Like at the end of the day, accounting is debits and credits. And I can get stuck in debits and credits all day and lose the vision behind like, why am I sitting behind this computer screen for 8 hours a day trying to problem solve this thing without the vision of, am I actually having an impact on the person that I'm doing this for? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have that pull power, or else it just becomes so mundane and repetitive. That's just not fun.
So, okay, all the people in Dan Martell's community, one of the things I love about them is they have big dreams, big goals. So what is your vision for your company? Where are you now and where do you want to be?
Yeah, it's a great question, man. So right now we are basically saying yes to really any referrals, like in the service-based industry, right? Trying to serve as many business owners as we can. The thing that I've gone back to time and time again is that I have this picture in my head of like in my office having a whole wall, and this sounds cheesy, but a whole wall of like smiling business owners' faces on this wall. And the theme or the title that I've given it is help 200 business owners reach 20% plus profitability in their business. And that's on top of paying themselves as an owner operator. That's like true margin in their business. And so it's like the 200 help 200 reach 20. It's help 200 reach 20. And then I envision this wall to be like, man, how awesome would it be? You sit back and you look at this wall and you get to put another face on that wall when you help them reach that goal, right? And so because we're in the service-based industry, I've kind of taken the benchmark of 20%. And honestly, it just makes me remember it easier, right? 200 reach 20. And so that's kind of the big focus of where we're at. So right now we're serving about 60 entities, but a lot of these business owners own multiple of those entities. So we're probably about like 43, I think, business owners is where we're at now, serving them. And so, yeah, man, I have a lot of thoughts of like different ways to tackle this whole, we play the financial role of your business. I'm doing deep dives on tax strategy and how to like, not just help you hit profits, but also put those profits into building wealth in your family, not paying the IRS, you know? So like really trying to strategize that way so that people that got into business ultimately can make a huge impact through what they're doing in business, but also reap the rewards of business ownership because we live in a capitalist society. You know, it's like, let's do it, you know? And so we just want to help people that way.
Amen, dude. Well, if people want to learn more about who you are and what you do, where can they go?
I love it, Andrew. So like I said, new to social media, I'm only on Instagram, but Austin D. McMillan is my Instagram handle. That's really the best place to find me. I'm trying to be present and available there every day. And so, in fact, actually, Andrew, if what I've done on there is if anybody wants, we just trying to help people, right? And wherever we can in the lens of, you know, business ownership, finance, any of that stuff. And we just run a play that just basically builds your bank accounts to help prioritize profit. And I have a whole PDF guide on how to do that, a video walkthrough of how to do that. So if anybody wants that, just find me on Instagram and then you can DM me the word profit, just the word profit, and we'll send that over to you. And it's literally just like, tells you how to call your banker, get these other accounts set up, and then you can build a rhythm of actually forcing profit.
Is it the profit first model? Is it
very similar? But it's all
yeah.
Okay, it's not as complicated. The thing I've gotten, honestly, Andrew, from talking to a lot of people, because obviously everybody started profit first. It's a lot of work though. If you run profit first consistently, you're like managing things all the time. You got to have all these different bank accounts. We've really simplified it that it has the same effect on businesses, and so it's just our model of it basically.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on the podcast, and don't hop off yet. I want to chop it up with you, but guys, check out Austin and his bookkeeping services. I love his passion, and yeah, this is not a part of someone's business that anybody enjoys. So the fact that you want to help business owners find freedom, I'm all about promoting that. So thanks again for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me, Andrew. I appreciate it.